NASCAR, like any other sport, has a seedier side. Is there anything drivers can do to improve their chances of success in their personal lives as well as at the track? These are the things that are most definitely kept a secret. But the truth is that one must find a means to overcome challenges. Stay with us on Racing Rush as we go through an untold side of NASCAR players. But before we begin, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button. NASCAR is widely regarded as one of America's favorite motorsports. But much like every other global sport, NASCAR has a shadowy side to it that it would rather keep hidden from the public eye. NASCAR has a reputation for possibly having even more secrets than what most tournaments prefer to keep hidden, which is one of the things that makes this topic even more intriguing. That ought to come as a surprise to you if you've been watching NASCAR for a significant amount of time, particularly given the large number of drivers who have lost their lives over the course of the sport's history. Today, NASCAR has a variety of safety precautions in place for the protection of drivers. These procedures were added to allay the fears and worries that the general public has regarding NASCAR. Even while all of these shifts are going in place, a significant amount of activity is taking place behind closed doors, and it is being kept a secret. To start with, first we have rubber pellets. An odd fact about NASCAR is that the sport has led to the creation of this peculiar byproduct. Because each NASCAR team passes through an average of between 9 and 14 sets of tires during each race, the track is filled with the same kind of black rubber pellets that are typically used to construct sports fields. Then we have weight loss, which most drivers do. The drivers of NASCARs are forced to endure a wide variety of dangerous conditions, which place a significant strain on their bodies. Because of the severe dehydration that they go through during a race, most drivers will lose between 6 and 8 pounds of weight throughout the course of a competition. Another thing that plays its role in victory is helmets. Helmets are mandatory for drivers in NASCAR to ensure that their heads are protected and that they can maintain clear eyesight. On the other hand, these helmets make the races unbearably hot for them, and the amount of sweat that builds up inside of them not only makes them feel uncomfortable, but also makes them feel rather unpleasant. Exercises are too important for drivers to enhance their performance. Drivers mostly exercise for the neck. Driving a race car puts a significant amount of strain on a person's body, yet the neck is the one area that race car drivers have to make a conscious effort to maintain in check. Because of the strain that is placed on their necks when racing, drivers are required to engage in a wide variety of neck workouts in order to build up the strength in that area of their bodies. Rules are bound to be broken when there are rules. However, this does not mean they are unimportant and should not be followed. This is an aspect that the vast majority of drivers struggle with, but they don't talk about it too often because doing so could get them into a lot of trouble. They resent the degree to which NASCAR controls their life, and they take pleasure in provoking the organization in whatever way they can so as to elicit a response from it. The next thing we don't know is all in. The level of risk that NASCAR drivers face during each and every one of their stints on the track is something of a well-guarded secret within the industry. To be willing to put one's life in danger in this manner demonstrates an extraordinary degree of passion and commitment to one's chosen sport. Do you know that vinyl stickers play a certain role in sponsorships? But what's the reason behind it? The answer is our other untold side. The NASCAR team puts a lot of effort into creating the idea that they are competing with stock vehicles, but they also need to find a method to incorporate the sponsors of their respective teams. Because of this, stickers made of vinyl are printed and stuck all over their vehicles. The outside beauty of their vehicles could suffer as a result, but the impacts on their bank accounts would be significant. Creating suspense is another strategy that is most likely applied in NASCAR. They do this by not revealing the winnings. In 2016, NASCAR made a temporary rule modification that stated they would not be posting the prize money online and that the drivers were not permitted to divulge it either. This regulation was in effect for a limited period of time. The drivers claimed that it was exciting to keep the identity of the winner a secret, but no one can explain why the rule was modified in the first place. Money is important, and for that workload too, of which we are not much aware. Although it's true that NASCAR drivers make a lot of money, that wealth comes at the expense of a significant amount of stress and work on their part. They end up working all throughout the week when the race season is at its height, and they even spend more time in their cars than majority of people do on a typical day. Our next thing is the most surprising thing you'll ever hear. You can drive a NASCAR without a license. It's hard to believe, but it's true. In order to compete in NASCAR, you don't even need a driver's license. This is one of the more unbelievable aspects of the sport. If you want to make your dream come true but don't yet have a license, don't worry about it. NASCAR has its own form of certification to be a driver, and a standard driving license is not a requirement. If you want to drive for NASCAR but don't have a license, you can still make your dream come true. The next one on our list is the right to speak one's mind. One of the ways that NASCAR has been able to establish such a large and well-known presence for itself is through the cultivation of a solid reputation in the media sector. Therefore, it makes perfect sense for them to be the guardians of the image that they project to the general public. When being interviewed, drivers need to watch what they say, otherwise they risk receiving a citation for making false statements. In case you didn't know, then this one is gonna shock you. Dale Earnhardt Jr., our all-time favorite driver, was a smoker in the past. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has opened up to the public about the challenges he faced when attempting to kick his smoking habit. Because he had always been worried about the judgment of others, he never smoked in front of anyone other than his close friends and family. Even though it was difficult for him, he was able to kick the habit in the end. Even if something is relatively inexpensive, it may still end up costing you money even if its intended use is to increase your profits. NASCAR is one of the more affordable forms of auto racing, despite the fact that other forms of auto racing tend to be more pricey due to the number of moving parts and components that are required to stage a race. BK Racing had a budget of $15 million for the year 2015, but unfortunately the company ended up incurring losses of $10.1 million for that year. What next we are going to discuss is the most common thing in races, but we take it as a coincidence. Yes, we are talking about tampering. There is a history of drivers in NASCAR going against the spirit of fair competition, but some of the stories are just so ludicrous and comical that it's hard not to laugh at them. During the very first NASCAR race, a Ford that Glenn Dunaway was riding in had modified rear springs. This act of custom came to be seen as almost being on par with the concept of tradition itself. Last but not least is rivalries. On the NASCAR race courses, there is a ridiculous level of competition, just like there is in every other sport. When we witness racers take it out on each other off the track as well, that raises a few red flags for us. For instance, once Harvick stated that Logano's wife wears the fire suit in the family and instructs him what to do. So, these were the included ones in the dark sides of NASCAR. What are your thoughts regarding this? Let us know in the comments below. And if you liked today's video, then do check out more videos like this on our channel. Also, do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more updates.